Testing, 1, 2, 3. We're live. Good. Okay. Hey guys. Hey everybody. Today I'm going to be talking to you about meditation and Moses's experience during meditation. Recently I began to just touch back on the Bible because now that I've acquired a reasonable amount of insight into spiritual wisdom, I can decipher the Bible in a different way. Also, I've accumulated many different keys that will help me to decipher what the Bible is saying. Because the Bible itself is, uh, it's made of parables, symbolism, synonyms, aphorisms, and a whole bunch of different ways of explaining things. So if you don't have the appropriate understanding, or if your third eye is not open, you won't decipher what is really being said here. And it requires a decent amount of knowledge, decent amount of awakening, enlightenment to get this information, because enlightenment itself is an expansion of mind in a particular area or outwardly. That's the expansion of mind outwardly. Rather than being in a box, you've come out of that box and you begin to open your mind and you expand it. That's enlightenment. And so I recently went back to the Bible because I have a reasonable understanding or a reasonable ability now to decipher what is being said here in the text. And I hope to help you decipher it too. So if you are on the path, on your spiritual journey, you've always curious about the Bible, let's dive on in and let's talk a little bit about meditation. Because the Bible itself talks a lot about meditation and be still and still in yourself and still in the mind. Again, these preachers and pastors don't know what they're talking about. So I hope to help you um, traverse this path properly. So let's dive on in. What I'll do, I'll read and then I'll do a bit of explanation, okay? And we have to break this down piece by piece, mainly because there's just so much information packed into a tiny area. And you'll find out with most spiritual books, there's just so much that gets packed into one thing. Like a quote or a statement will just have so much information that you can unfold out of it. It's just profound, right? Like an aphorism such as, um, you know, the son is the father of man. The son is the father of the man. Like that's an aphorism. And there's just so much information in there that you can unfold out of just, those few words. The son is the father of the man. What does that mean? It means that for a man to become, he must first be a son. He must first be a boy. And a boy grows into a man. That is what an aphorism is. So if you hear or you read something in a spiritual text that goes along that line, you have to be able to decipher it. The son is the father of the man. You got to be able to decipher that. You got to be able to decipher that for the father to come, the son must first come. Okay? You can't have a father without a son. All right? You're not a father if you don't have a son or you don't have a child. You're not a father. All right? There's just so much you can unpack in there. So there's just tons of symbolisms and parables and aphorisms in these texts that you got to be able to decipher it. Let me make sure my mic is on. Testing. Yes, it looks like it's on here. Okay, let's dive right in. Now Moses kept the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian. Now here, there's two things taking place here. There's symbolism, okay, and there's anagrams in this one sentence. Two anagrams I can see is Jethro and Midian. Jethro refers to thought. If you rearrange these letters, you'll get thought out of it. Okay, thought, the mind. Okay, thought, the ideas, all of that. Midian, the mind. You rearrange this, you'll get mind out of it. Okay, so you got to be able to decipher this stuff. And I know this might not make sense to you because you don't have the prerequisite knowledge, but that's why I'm here to help you decipher it. Okay, once you've gone far enough along your journey, you'll be able to decipher this stuff for yourself. Okay, so now Moses kept the flock of thought, not Jethro. Now Moses kept the flock of thought. He gathered his thoughts, his father-in-law, because thoughts is the father-in-law of a person. Okay? Thought is also the source of a person. right? Because all things comes from thought, right? But how is thought the father-in-law? Thought is the father-in-law because the mother, okay? The mother is matter, physicality. All these atoms is the mother. And we, the son, gets put into the mother. All right? Energy beings within flesh. Okay? And the father, okay, of the mother is thought, because the mother comes from thought. You have to read enough books and you'll get it. If you read the Divine Pymander, which I'm going to mention multiple times during this explanation, the Divine Pymander explains how matter, okay, is the daughter of thought, okay, is the daughter of thought. And so Jethro, his father-in-law, right? Jethro is both your father-in-law and your father. Okay, is your you, thought is your father and your father-in-law, but they're just using it in this context to hide the secrets, to hide the truth from the average mind, to hide it from the church corrupting people, okay, the priests and the corrupting beings of that religious perspective, okay, those who cannot decipher this, those who cannot understand it, because it's not for them, it's not for everybody. This is for the elect few, the elect few who are looking to go beyond this physicality we call the physical realm. Those who are looking for eternity, the spiritual ones, the star seeds, those will be able to decipher this, right? So now Moses kept the flock of thought, his father-in-law, the priest of mind, okay? Thought is the priest of mind. Yes, he's the priest of mind, because from him all things come into the mind, okay? So Moses kept all of his thoughts in one place, and he led the flock to the backside of the desert. Now, synonym, your desert refers to the field of the mind. You know, your mind is a field when you plant seeds in it. Yep, and those seeds eventually bear fruit. Okay, now, when it's barren, it's a desert. When a field is barren and it's dry, it's a desert. Okay, you got to understand, this is not to be taken verbatim or to be taken exactly as it says. This is symbolism, okay? The backside of the desert, the backside of the mind, and came to the mountain of God. The mountain of God is your crown chakra, okay? And even to Haram. Not sure what this means, but I'm sure at some point it'll make sense to me. And so let's just go back a little bit. And he led the flock to the backside of the desert, the backside of the mine, and it came to the mountain of God. The mountain of God is your crown chakra. That's the mount. That's where God resides, in the crown chakra, right? And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a flame. The angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a flame of fire out of the midst of a bush. Now, how do I know that Moses is having the same experience as Hermes? Well, when you read the Divine Pymander, you'll hear Hermes explain his experience when he sat down and he got into deep meditation. It's a very similar experience that Hermes was having as to Moses. It's a very similar experience. And so when you read it and you can put the two together and you see, oh, these men are experiencing the same thing, but they're explaining it different ways, right? It's the same power being explained in different ways. And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a flame of fire out of the midst of a bush. Again, the bush that they're referring to is your nervous system. Okay? We as spiritual beings are connected to this physical realm by our nervous system. We don't actually feel, touch, taste, or experience everything. All the experience gets processed through the nervous system and the brain, and it connects to the spirit, or your chakra system, okay, which allows you to have the experience energetically. It's an energy exchange. It's not, you're not having a physical experience of things. I'm touching this table, I'm slapping this table, I'm slapping my hand, my face. It's not actually happening. But when I touch myself, these electrical vibrations go through my nervous system, okay, and then the nervous system connects to me, the spirit, and gives me that experience. So this burning bush is your nervous system that Moses is seeing. And when you sit in meditation and you really step back, you can see your body ablaze. a blaze of this energy that is not consuming the body, but it's just there, a blaze, because we are balls of energy continuously, just going. Like they say, the amount of energy that's required for a woman to give birth or produce a child is more than a nuclear explosion or an atomic bomb or something like that. A profound amount of energy the body produces. Okay? And so this burning bush is a nervous system, because your your nervous system, when you look at it, it looks like a bush. Okay? It looks like a tree. It looks like a tree. And the tree that the earth that this tree is planted in is the matter. Remember, in the beginning, God created man out of the dust of the earth, right? Out of dust, out of earth, right? And then He blew a breath of life into man, and the breath of life is you existing within the nervous system. You're the breath, the spirit. The spirit is the breath. All right, and so your nervous system is planted in matter, in flesh, mother, matter, material. All right. So the bush, your nervous system is planted in this matter. And He looked, and behold, the bush burned with fire. And He looked, and behold, the bush burned with fire, and the bush was not consumed. How can the bush? Well, the bush obviously won't be consumed, because, like we just talked about, when you sit in meditation, you'll see the body ablaze and producing this energy that is not consuming, right? And Moses said, I will now turn aside and see this great sight, why the bush is not burnt. Moses thinking to himself in meditation, why is the bush not burnt? Why is this bush not burning? Because he wants to see it. He wants to see it. And the Lord saw that he turned aside to see, and God called unto him out of the midst of the bush. And when the Lord saw that he turned aside to see, God called unto him out of the midst of the bush and said, Moses, Moses. And he said, Here I am. This is so powerful. This is so powerful. And if you're patient with me, you'll get it. And when the Lord saw that he turned aside to see, God called unto him out of the midst of the bush. So what does it mean when Moses turned aside? Moses stepped aside from his body, disconnected from his body, from his thoughts and his mind. That's what stepping aside. So that he can see for himself, he can properly reflect on himself. And God called unto him out of the midst of the bush, out of the midst of his being. God called unto him. It's the same experience that Hermes had. We will go through the divine pymander, I promise you. It's the same experience that Hermes had. Okay? Hermes got into deep meditation, and the divine pymander called unto him. It called unto him the same way God, the self, the highest power, the source, thought, called unto Moses, saying, Moses, Moses. And he said, Here I am. Because Moses is looking to see this bush, and God said, Hey, I'm here. And he said, Draw not hither, and put off thy shoes from thy feet, for the place whereon thou standest is holy ground. Another profound, powerful statement here. I mean, this whole thing is powerful. Okay. And he said, Draw not near, not here. What is he saying? Don't bring thoughts here. Okay. Because the moment we think, we start to paint and draw ideas in our mind. Don't bring any thoughts into this meditative state. Leave all your thoughts outside. Because meditation is about releasing your thoughts, releasing ideologies, releasing anything that you think you know. That's the only way you could truly and deeply have such a profound experience like this. You have to release all your thoughts, all your ideas, all the things that hold you down, all your emotion, all of it. Okay? You cannot bring thought, because the moment you try to create a thought, it's a lie, it's an illusion. God is saying, don't bring any illusions here. Keep all your illusions away. Okay? This is holy ground. Take off your shoes. The shoes that he's talking about is the body, it's the flesh, it's the illusion. Take off your illusion. This is holy ground. Don't bring that illusion here, or else you won't experience me. That's what God is saying to Moses. Same experience with Hermes. And now I myself had a similar experience. And I'll give you more detail. But it was a Sunday, late last year in December. My family went out for some reason. And I said, you know what? Let me go and sit in meditation. And I sat. And I sat there for about 15 minutes. And it usually takes about 15 minutes for you to get deeply into your meditation. And while I was sitting there, it's a feeling that came on to me. And this feeling just said, let go. And I just let go of all the thoughts. Everything I had, I just let go of it. And I had the most profound vision, the most profound experience. It is the deepest and most profound vision I've ever had. And it was clear as day. It was clear as day. I'll give you guys more detail on that later. But let's carry on. Thou stands on holy ground. Take off your shoes, Moses. Okay? Moreover, he said, I am the God of thy father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon God. Hermes had the same experience. He was afraid of the divine Pymander. To him, he was a terrifying being. Okay? And same thing here. Moses is afraid to look upon God. And the Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people which are in Egypt, and have heard their cry by reason of their taskmaster, for I know their sorrows. Again, this is not about people being in Egypt. This is about you. What is that? Incoming call. I'm getting a call. I can't take that call right now. Guys, give me 1 second here. Let me just send out this text. I'm making a video. Can't take call now. Okay. Let's go back. Yeah, so this text is all about you. It's not about people being trapped in Egypt, because it's all about you, okay? Jesus didn't come to save everybody. Jesus came to save the elect. Jesus came to save those who want to be saved. Those who want to transcend beyond this physical realm. Because not everybody wants to go. A lot of people are enjoying this physical manifestation so much. They love their pain, their sorrow. They love their striving. They love hunting for material things. They love chasing after these things, okay? This world is for those who want to be here. This world is for those who have extreme desires and extreme attention to wanting to be in this world, okay? But for the elect and those of divine eternal spirit, the beings that are online who knows that this illusion is but an illusion and want to expand their awareness and consciousness and become enlightened, those are who this message is for. It's not for everybody, okay? That's why this Bible is not talking, and this story of Moses is not talking about people being trapped in Egypt. This is talking about your mind. The people that's being afflicted is your thoughts. You are the people that's being afflicted, that's trapped in Egypt. That's the one that God came to save. Okay? And surely I've seen the affliction of my people which are in Egypt, and I've heard Egypt referring to earth, referring to the things of this world, the fancy things, the glamorous things, the collective material things. That's what Egypt refers to. For example, America right now is Egypt, okay? America is the Egypt of the new world. And in this Egypt, you'll find all sort of blasphemy, all sort of overindulgence in anything material, anything low vibrational that'll bring you down. You'll find an overabundant amount of it in America. That is Egypt today. They say America is a melting pot. Egypt used to be the melting pot of the world. America is a melting pot of the world today. And I came down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians and to bring them up. Okay? Bring your mind up out of that land onto a good land, a good resonance, a good frequency, a good state of mind. That is what the Lord is talking about. And a large land, onto a land flowing with milk and honey. Milk and honey. Some say the pineal gland produces this milk and honey, this golden substance. But this land of milk and honey is the crown chakra. Okay? High vibrational. Everything becomes milk and honey when you're in your crown chakra. Everything is beautiful. It's perfect. This whole world is perfect. Onto the place of the Canaanites and the Hittites and the Amorites and the Perizzites and the Hevitites and the Jebusites. This is the place that these beings dwell, high vibrational being. And now, therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Israel, come unto me. And I have also seen the oppression wherewith the Egyptians oppress them. We are being poisoned on all fronts in this world today. We are being poisoned. If you live in America, you're being poisoned. Whether it's through entertainment, whether it's through your food, whether it's through your water, whether it's through your air, you're being poisoned. Those are the afflictions being put upon the Egyptians, and the Lord can see it because the Lord is in each and every one of us. Come now, therefore, and I will send unto Pharaoh that thou mayest bring forth my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt. And Moses said unto God, who am I, that I should go unto Pharaoh, and that I should bring forth the children of Israel out of Egypt? Similarly, in the divine Pymander, Hermes was having conversation with the Pymander about who am I? What are we doing here? What is all this about? What does all this philosophy mean? Moses himself is having these profound questions. Well, who am I? He's talking to himself. Who am I? And he said, certainly I will be with thee. It's the Lord saying to him. Of course the Lord will be with him. The Lord is in us all always. And this shall be a token unto thee, that I have sent thee. When thou hast brought forth the people out of Egypt, ye shall serve God upon this mountain. Oh, I'll be right back. One sec. Gonna have to cut that part of the video out. Anyways, let's go. And he said, certainly I will be there with thee, and this shall be a token unto thee, and I have sent thee. When thou hast brought forth the people out of Egypt, ye shall serve God upon this mountain. Excuse me. And Moses said unto God, behold, when I come unto the children of Israel, and I say unto them, the God of our fathers hath sent me unto you, and they shall say to me, what is his name? What I shall say unto them. And God said unto Moses, I am that I am. Of course he's going to say, I am that I am. I am. We all are. Sit in meditation. Reflect on the I am. We all have to reflect on ourselves. Think about it. Before we claim we are anything in this world, we first say I am. Some may say I am a doctor. I am a teacher. I am a pastor. I am in love. I am here. I am there. I am wherever. I am is first before anything else. Okay? And that's why Moses can say, I am that I am. The I am is in all of us. Okay? I am talking to you right now. I am is talking to you. I am. The I am, the first thought, the first cause is talking to you right now. I am. Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am hath sent me unto you. And God said moreover unto Moses, thou shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, the Lord God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac and Jacob, has sent me unto you. This is my name forever, and this is my memorial until all generations. Go and gather the elders of Israel together, and say unto them, the Lord God of your father, the God of Israel, has sent me unto you. Now, there's a lot of junk in here. Okay, That's why the Bible's got to be read properly, because the ancient text has been convoluted and it's been mixed up with a whole bunch of junk. So, you need the proper keys, because this thing will put your mind in a whirlwind if you can't read it properly. There's just so much junk here. I'm just trying to get through to the good parts. All right. And onto a land flowing with milk and honey. I'll deliver you up out of the afflictions of Egypt, onto the land of Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, Perizzites, onto a land flowing with milk and honey, and they shall hearken to thy voice. And thou shalt come, thou and the elders of Israel, unto the king of Egypt, and ye shall say unto him, the Lord God of Hebrews hath sent had met with us. Oh my God, I'm messing this up. Forgive me, guys. Just follow along either ways. And now let us go, we beseech thee, 3 days journey into the wilderness, that we may sacrifice to the Lord our God. 3 days fasting, exclusion of peoples and ideas and their thoughts. 3 days in isolation. No food, probably just water. Gotta cleanse yourself. You gotta cleanse yourself. That's what the cleaning is about. And now let us go, we beseech thee. 3 days journey into the wilderness. Okay? 3 days into the wilderness, into this desert, that we may sacrifice to the Lord our God. That's what it's saying. 3 days in meditation, 3 days in deep thought. That's what Moses had to go through. And I am sure that the king of Egypt will not let you go. No, not by a mighty hand. No, no. The things of this world are so tasteful. They suck you in. It's not, they don't just let you go. They just cling on to you. They say, if you want to quit doing something, don't let the devil know, because he'll put the hardest challenges before you. He'll put the most difficult challenges. You ever notice, if you're trying to do something, you put your mind to it, it becomes the most difficult thing you have to do, because the devil put the hardest challenges in front of you, right? The king of Egypt will not let you go. And I will give this people favor in the sight of the Egyptians, and it shall come to pass that when ye go, ye shall not go empty, but every woman shall borrow of her neighbor, and of her that sojourneth in her house. So, but every woman shall borrow of her neighbor. I have an anagram for this, but I'm not particularly sure. I'm not 100% sure on it, so I'm not going to say it. So let's exclude that for now. And her of her that sojourneth in her house, her that goes into her mind, jewels of silver and jewels of gold and raiment. And ye shall put them upon your sons and upon your daughters, and ye shall spoil the Egyptians. So, what is this saying? A woman should go into her mind and her thoughts, be with her thoughts to elevate herself, so that she can put that on her children. Okay? Women are the one who really influences children more than men. That's why it's saying here the woman should meditate and get proper thought, right knowledge, right ideas to put it on her children, to influence them in the right direction. There is one more part I really want to get to. There's one more part I really want to get to before I close out here. And this is about the serpent. Uh, Exodus 3 there. Okay. Let's see if I can just get to it quick. And Moses answered said, but behold, we will believe or hearken unto our voice, for us the Lord not appeared unto thee. All right, here. Good, perfect. And Moses answered and said, but behold, they will not believe me nor hearken unto my voice, for they will say, the Lord had not appeared unto thee. And the Lord said unto him, what is that in thy hand? What is that in your hand? And he said, a rod. And he said, cast it on the ground. Okay. What is in thy hand? The rod that is being referred to here, okay, is some may say your spine. But it's the rod that connects your chakra systems together. That's the rod that's being referred here. Okay. So your chakra rod has two parts to it. The pinna and the pangala, if I'm not mistaken. The pinya and the pangala. Correct me if I'm wrong. But these two rods, which is duality, wrong and right, when merged, becomes one single rod. Right? This is why later on in the story, when Moses cast down his rod, it became one and then consumed the two rods of Pharaoh. Okay? The duality of Pharaoh's thinking, the duality of the two snake, the single snake consumed the two. That's what's being talked about here. Okay? This rod that he's referring to is your pillar of light that we all have. All right? And he said, cast it onto the ground. Throw it on the ground. That's your kundalini. Your kundalini. Throw it on the ground. And cast it on the ground. And it became a serpent. And Moses fled before it. He was scared. Right? The divine pymander, the dragon. The dragon. Right? When you rise above even, kundalini energy and all that stuff. When you rise above all of that, that's where Moses is right now. And it shook him, and he fled from it. And the Lord said unto Moses, put forth thy hand and take it by the tail. Take it by the root chakra. Okay? And he put forth his hand and caught it, and it became a rod again. Take it by the root chakra and have control of your chakra centers, control of your senses. That's what the Lord is telling him. Control yourself. Take control of yourself, that they might believe that the Lord God of the Father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, Jacob had appeared unto thee. When a man walks in divinity, he awakens his crown chakra and step into his highest version of himself. He does miracles. Okay? He does wonders in the world, and people can see it. And that's what the Lord, or the mind, the divine mind, is telling Moses here. Control thy senses. Take control. Rise above your chakra sensors. Grab your root chakra by the tail. Okay? And control it. Control that rod. All right? And the world will see you as a divine light. In all your works, the world will see it. They have no choice but to see. That's what the Lord is saying to him. That they may believe that the Lord God of the fathers had sent you. And the Lord said furthermore unto him, put now thy hand into thy bosom. Put your hand in your chest. And see your spirit body. Put your hand in their chest and see your spirit body. Well, he didn't say that exactly, but here's what he says. And the Lord said unto him, put thy hand into thy bosom. And he put his hand into his bosom. And when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous. It was white as snow. Glowing energy, light. He put his hand in his spirit body and he saw light. So he put his hand in his chest. Okay? He put his hand in his chest. So he went into his heart. He went into deep meditation. And he can see the other side of himself, which is spirit body. And he saw it glowing with light. And then God said, put it back. And then he did, and he took it out and went back to normal. So he saw himself in both these lights. The divine light and the light of the world. And he said, put thine hand into thy bosom again. And he put his hand into his bosom again and plucked it out of his bosom. And behold, it was turned again as his other flesh. And it shall come to pass, if they will not believe thee, neither hearken unto the voice of thy first sign, they will believe the voice of the latter sign. And it shall come to pass, the voice of the latter sign. The voice of the latter sign is the voice of God in deep meditation. If they will not believe also these two signs, neither hearken unto thy voice, that thou shalt take of the water of the river and pour it upon the dry land, and the water which thou takest out of the river shall become blood upon the dry land. Listen, guys, I hope this video brought value to you. I'm going to cut it here. Okay, it's 34 minutes in. For you to really deeply and truly connect with Source, the Creator, God, you have to meditate. You have to be in a sound mind. Okay, the things of this world pulls you away from God. It pulls you deeper into matter. It pulls you deeper into the human flesh. It pulls you deeper into this cycle of life and death. Okay? If you want to escape this cycle of life and death and rise to your highest self and become the Buddha of your life, the Christ of your life, the master of your life, the captain of your soul. You must raise your vibration, raise yourself to your highest form of being, which is to raise yourself up to God, back to source. Okay? Now, I got to make this point before I close out. The God that's talking to Moses, or the divine Pymander that's talking to Hermes in his vision, or the one that spoke to me in my vision, it's it's an archetype. Okay, it's not to say that you are separate of the mind. You and the mind are the same, but it's just the way we perceive things. It's just so complex, I can't even explain it. But we will have these divine insights into ourselves. It's like a voice talking to us, but it's not a verbal voice, but we know it's an inclination. It's an insight. It's a feeling and a knowing that we feel and we hear in our being. Okay, it's like an intuition. Intuition is the voice of God, and that's what you experience in these divine states, in these high vibrational state. Okay, an intuition, a knowing, a voice speaking to you in a way that you cannot verbalize, and you just know, right? And so get into meditation. Go deep into meditation. Go deep into yourself. Let go of all thoughts when you're going into that state. Let go of everything. Don't draw anything in that state. Don't draw anything in the mind. Go in there and be silent. Okay? I know when you sit in meditation, people will try to tell you to control your thoughts. You cannot control your thoughts. Can you grasp water in your hand? Can you? No, you can't. The water, no matter how much you try to grab it, you cannot grasp water. And thoughts is like that. You just got to let it flow. Just let it flow. And eventually the water will quiet and it will settle. The mud will settle when the water settles. Okay? And when it settles, it will be pure and it'll be quiet in there, and you will experience source for the first time if you haven't experienced it. But truly you will. So you got to meditate. You got to go deep into the self, and you will have these divine experiences. I hope this video brought value to you. Please like, subscribe, share the channel. Love and everything else, all the good stuff I'm sending your way. Yeah. So please, you know what you're supposed to do. I appreciate it. Um, and as always, stay tuned, turn on the notification bell, and I will do my best to make these videos more often. And yeah, comment below. Let me know what your thoughts. Peace. Till next time.